Yeah! Jake's books. And he got me to read it before he started doing the edits and shopping it around, and I read it, and I thought it was great. And he said, really? And so I guess that gave him confidence, and he just said to me, should I read the bit? And this was the first part I read of the book. And so I'm going to bring him up right now, Andrew Sztein.
This is how a nerd dresses up, with a Nintendo belt buckle and a PlayStation hat with a tie. Alright, so you're going to basically see me reading off my phone, which, you know, is the most entertaining thing this evening, I'm certain. So I'm going to just set the scene for you a little bit. My book is about a young gamer nerd whose heart gets broken by his high school sweetheart, and he, on the advice of his very promiscuous roommate, he ends up throwing himself back out into the dating game and falling in love at first sight with a lesbian. So, basically, it's a nerdy love story and a meditation on modern relationships. I'm going to read you a section starring Ash, the main character, and Rob, who is his promiscuous roommate, and they're having a conversation in the bar. Alright, and they're waiting for the lesbian love interest to show up. And by the way, if you're offended by this language, you've been given fair warning, so yeah. Rob is already sitting at his booth, eagerly awaiting his alcohol. I sat down in the seat across from him and began to slowly pour the first pint of the evening. You know, something weird has been bothering me lately. Oh yeah? What's that? Rob says, quickly as he snatches his pint and begins to suck it down. It better not be any more of this, is Rachel lesbian bullshit. I assure you, my friend, she's not. I laugh. Actually, I wasn't thinking about the lesbian thing at all at the moment. I take a fair-sized chug of my beer and say, no dude, this is something much nerdier and really not as important as that. Uh-oh, what lame-ass geek shit are you going to complain about now, Rob asks, taking another nervous swig of his brew. Well, I was playing some Super Mario the other day, and I had a weird thought. How does the princess keep getting kidnapped in game after game? I already hate where this is going, Rob interrupts. Shut up and hear me out. So Princess Peach is clearly a monarch, hence the princess in her title. Yeah, she's due to inherit the Mushroom Kingdom when her pop croaks. I suppose since Mario's hitting that, he's in line to rule the Mushroom Kingdom one day. Rob responds, instantly going from skepticism to tentative interest. So yeah, here's what bothers me about it. The first time Bowser kidnaps her, it's excusable. The Mushroom Kingdom wasn't aware of a security threat on the royal family. Therefore, they commissioned Mario and Luigi to get her back. The first time anyway. A Mushroom Kingdom secret service, if you will. I pause to take another drink and to peek at the door to see if Rachel has arrived. She hasn't, so I continue on with my ridiculous Mario observations. So, Mario and Luigi successfully defeat the Koopa Kingdom's ruler, in this case, Bowser. In the process, they decimate the entire Koopa army, and in the case of Mario 3 and Mario World, they even mercilessly slaughter the entire royal family on their rampage towards Bowser and the eventual rescue of Princess Peach. Never underestimate the obscene lengths that a man will go to in the never-ending quest for pussy, Rob adds. That deserves a clink of the glasses to be sure. We give a quick touch of the glasses, take a big sip each. Yes, this much is true. However, there's something else that bugs me about the whole situation beyond the whole Koopa versus Mushroom Kingdom war. By the way, the horrors of war between the Mushroom Kingdom and the forces of perceived evil from the Koopas are conveniently sidestepped in the game's narrative, I say. History is written by the winners, my friend, and Mario is always the winner, Rob responds. True enough, but here's the kicker. Don't you think after a monarch's daughter is kidnapped once, that there would be a significant tightening of security around her? She would be under constant surveillance around the clock, probably with little mushroom soldiers armed with turnips and fire flowers. So what bothers you about that? Bowser probably finds ways around security to snatch her. I mean, if your best hope to recover a kidnapped princess is to acquire the services of an overweight plumber, maybe a few extra coins invested into security wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Possible, but I think there's a much more likely explanation, I respond. We each take another drink. Oh yeah? And what is that likely explanation? There's an inside man working against Mario and the Mushroom Kingdom, my friend. Think about it. Would it be that easy for Bowser to sneak into the Mushroom Castle? I mean, he's probably as well known a terrorist in the Mushroom Kingdom as Osama bin Laden. Probably isn't a little toadstool within 50 miles that doesn't know Bowser's face. Clearly, he has someone on the inside doing his dirty work for him. Despite the sheer ridiculousness of the conversation we're having, Rob is definitely interested in where I'm going with this. I take another scan around the bar for Rachel. Still nowhere to be seen and our pints are now empty. Rob pours 2 more and I continue on. So, who do you think this inside man is, per se? Well, you know, at first I figured it was Toad. You know the guy I'm talking about? Little mushroom guy, always with the princess? Rob nods. Yeah, well, he has access to both the princess's itinerary and the best access route to her. However, Toad's involvement with Bowser is extremely unlikely for 2 reasons, I say. Is it because he's a little runt that has neither the brains nor the brawn to pull off such an elaborate scheme? That, and also the fact that he gets kidnapped almost as much as the princess does. My guess is that he gives his best noble effort to protect her every time and winds up screwing it up time and time again. He's not corrupt, he's just an incompetent bodyguard. So, Toad isn't the culprit, so who do you think is? Rob inquires. Luigi, my friend. Luigi? Luigi. Whoa, 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 Rob exclaims. Don't be bad-mouthing Luigi like that. Luigi's got Mario's back. They're the Mario Bros. Now, don't get defensive. This is merely a conspiracy theory I have. But think about it though. Who has to do most of the grunt work in saving the princess? It's always Mario. Luigi only shows himself if player 2 is around, which I think makes for the perfect cover. He does just enough of his share on any given quest as to not arouse any suspicion. The fact of the matter is, Mario is always the one doing the work, and Luigi's rarely anywhere to be seen. I'll bet he's using that time that Mario is fighting the brave patriotic fight for the Mushroom Kingdom to plan his evil cahoots with Bowser himself. Even the minigames suggest that Luigi isn't on the down low. Do you remember what happens when you enter a level in Mario 3 that the opponent is already beaten? I think so. Don't you play a minigame against each other where you try and steal the other player's coins and items and shit? Rob eloquently states. Exactly, I exclaim, pounding my glass on the table so hard it begins to fizz up. I quickly gulp down the excess head of my beer before it overflows all over the table. Luigi is blatantly standing in Mario's way that time. Since Mario 3 is the hardest of all the Mario games, I imagine that Luigi figured that there's no way Mario can make it through this brutal quest, especially since he had to start the game over from the beginning every time he played. Unless, of course, you were enough of a geek to know where the work whistles were in those pre-internet days. Rob interrupts. Ah, yes, the NES days, where gamers were gamers, and you had to beat every game in one sitting. Save points are for pussies and people with social lives. That is very true, my friend, I respond. Anyway, continuing on, it's clear that Luigi took this opportunity to show his true colors and begin to impede Mario's progress himself. An interesting theory, to say the least. Do you have any more proof than that, though, Rob asks? The funny thing is, of course I have more. I'm such a nerd. Look at the respective color schemes. Mushroom Kingdom's a red place. The bricks are red. The princess is dressed as pink, which is an offshoot of red. All the little toadstools in the kingdom have white tops with red spots all over them. The fish in the underwater levels are even red. Of course, can't forget the man himself, Mario, the general of the Mushroom Kingdom army, the man who pretty much single-handedly saves the day whenever there's peril to be found. I think I see where you're going with this one, Rob says with a subtle roll of his eyes. What color are all the Koopas? Most of them are green. Bowser and the Koopa kids sport green. You know who else wears green? Your boy Luigi there, wearing the colors of the enemy, in plain sight no less. Alrighty then, Rob concedes. You brought forth enough evidence, but you still haven't given me a motive. Ask yourself this. What brings most men to murder or crime? The opposite sex. In the original Super Mario Brothers, it was a team effort. Yet that fat Guido Mario takes all the credit. Rockets to superstardom, has his name plastered on every title on the franchise from there on in. Even obtained synonymy with video games. What does Luigi get? Player 2 status. He's the sidekick, an optional assistance. The Robin to Mario's Batman, if you will. So you're saying it's a lack of recognition that drove Luigi to treason? Yes, and a combination of never getting any throughout the entire history of video games. Lack of sex will drive many men to crime. What must have really set Luigi off is that even though Mario is the fatter, shorter, and generally less attractive of the two brothers, Luigi is tall and thin, and even has a better maintained mustache than Mario has. Think back to Super Mario 2. Mario didn't have anything special going for him. He was the strictly average character that no one would ever pick. Luigi had the mega high jump and was generally more agile than Mario was. Although, let's be honest, if you picked anyone other than the princess in that game, you're a damn fool. Despite this, Mario always winds up with the princess and the glory. What does Luigi get? Squat, zip, nada. Tossed aside like a used tissue after a furious masturbation session. Even Rob, the least tactful person I know, winced at that comparison. That's why he snapped. But Luigi's no fool. He's not gonna just, pull a Wario and blatantly declare himself Mario's enemy. He's smarter than that. He's gonna play the patsy for now, until the perfect time. Then Luigi will have his day in the sun, and it will be by any means necessary. I conclude my diatribe by chugging down the rest of my pint and slamming the glass down on the table. You, my friend, are the biggest fucking nerd in the world, and you have way too much time on your hands to think this shit up, Rob says, reverting from interested party to cruel skepticism. I shrug my shoulders and reply that you're just upset you didn't think of it. I'm upset anyone thought it up. They're video game characters, and you just wasted time in my life I'll never get back, Rob snorts. Well, you definitely seemed interested in my theory, and you don't have any evidence to the contrary either. And I'll cut it.
That was awesome. When you said, that's back when gamers were gamers, it was like you were in NAM or something. It was like
He was.
No, I'm with you. It was just like, I believe that you were like, I lost an arm in Mario 2. Like, that's what I felt. However, I do want to say this. In the ill-fated Super Mario Brothers movie, John Leguizamo played Luigi and he got the princess. Oh.
But that movie never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, it's no Van Damme Street Fight, right? Like,
This is happening right now. All right, that's awesome, guys. Give him a hand. That's awesome. I like it. All right.
Who wants to defend Andrew's
That was Princess Daisy, played by Samantha Mathis, who was also in Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater.
I agree with you.
But not Princess Peach.
Okay, but it was like the princess, right? Like.
Daisy's Luigi's girl.
All right, listen. I was just playing devil's advocate. Yeah, go.
if anybody's interested in reading the rest of the novel, ask me for a card. I'll be happy to email it to you. I'm just looking for feedback.
All right, yeah, no, like, we're all gonna do that.